We're back, everybody. It's been so long. Welcome back to the Creative Differences Podcast. I'm Dallas, and I've missed you guys.
I'm Gaby, and I'm here, and I missed you too.
I'm Colin, and I also missed you guys because, especially Gaby, I feel like I never see.
Wow, Gaby getting special treatment.
And welcome to the Creative Differences Podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Fancast Fridays, Throwback Thursdays, and a number of other pop culture-related items. Also, happy Pride Month, and sorry, it's my fault that we haven't been here for a month.
It's okay.
It's okay. But yeah, happy Pride. Shout out to the LGBTQ plus homies.
Yep.
And we actually mean it, because two of us on the podcast are actually not straight.
Hey. Which two? You'll figure it out.
I'll let you guess which two.
Speaking of the gay homies, Colin, I haven't seen you in like months. Why is Gaby getting a shout out? I haven't seen you in a while. When's the last time I saw you in person?
Actually, yeah, I saw Colin this month, I think.
Man,
yeah, this
I never see this nigga. And now he's frozen, so he can't even answer.
Oh, mama.
That was a perfect time for him to freeze up.
Jeez,
Now he can.
Is he frozen or is he pulling a Kourtney Kardashian? It's just like,
oh no, I'm probably frozen. The internet here is sucky.
There he is. Well, he's still frozen, but at least you're getting sound.
Yes.
Oh my god.
All right. Now that Colin has been called out, we can start. Today we're talking about Jurassic World Dominion and Young Justice and whatever else we have on the docket, but mostly dinosaurs and superheroes. Before we get into it, please like, share, and subscribe because we were gone for about a month and didn't hear a lot about it. So we need an audience because next time we leave for a month, I want it to matter to some people.
Oh.
But yeah, let's get into these things. Let's get into these things that we do. Jurassic World Dominion. We back. The dinosaurs, the people, some more people. It's directed by Colin Trevorrow or Trevorrow. I've never known how to say his name, but I think it's Trevorrow.
I think it's Trevorrow.
Yeah, it looks like Trevorrow. He directed Jurassic World, the first Jurassic World. So it was the fourth Jurassic Park movie. The one I like. Not Fallen Kingdom. I don't like that one. But that's
Wasn't
not important.
he gonna direct
It was written
a Star
by.
Wars, and then he didn't direct a Star Wars?
He
got
was supposed to
replaced.
direct Star Wars Episode 9, Duel of the Fates. That didn't work out after Fallen Kingdom. Oh,
Which
actually,
is
no, it
interesting
might have
'cause-
been. It might have
yeah,
been
he
the
didn't do
book
Fallen
of.
Kingdom.
I think it
what
was the
that
Book of Henry.
The book of Henry. Yes, that's what it was. It didn't work out after that.
Is that the one with the little boy?
Mhm.
Yeah, Jacob
Yes.
Tremblay is in that movie.
Yeah.
I think it
he's
was like
in-
surprisingly
I
dark
don't know.
and didn't do well, and they were like, maybe not. That
It was
said,
marketed wrong.
his
then.
script did have the line of Hux realizing he lost at the Star Wars, and I'm sad that we never got that.
Man, that
I
sounds
mean,
amazing.
nobody would have
Wait,
ever
what?
said that out loud. It was just an action direction.
No, I want it said, I've lost the Star Wars.
No! I would have hated that. I would have rolled my eyes so hard that they would have gotten stuck.
I would have clapped.
However, I
Anyway.
have heard that the
Oh, what's up?
storylines in that movie would have better finished off a few characters' arcs, but that's neither here nor there. Continue.
Yeah, speaking of finishing off arcs, this movie. It was written by Colin and Emily Carmichael, who wrote Pacific Rim Uprising. And
Okay.
some other things that don't have links on Wikipedia, so I didn't get into those. The movie stars Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, and DeWanda Wise.
Damn, okay. Original cast? Sorry.
Yes, and that's why we're all excited for it. IMDb summary is, it's kind of long. 4 years after the destruction of Isla Nublar, dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside humans all over the world. This fragile balance will reshape the future and determine once and for all whether human beings are to remain the apex predators on the planet they now share with history's most fearsome creatures in a new era. I don't know why they decided to just try to hit a character requirement for that, but it's fine. Basically, dinosaurs are here, and so are the people from the original movies. That's the plot. It took me a while to get into this one, but once it did, like once it ramped up, I was all in. It's very fun. I really like this movie.
It is very slow paced, though. You are right. It takes a minute to get into it. I was like, "What are we doing here?"
Yo, there's so many moments where I was like, "What are we doing here?" Okay, so the little clone girl, she's still cloning, being a clone, having her angst. Gaby, have you seen the previous movie?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
I refuse.
well, let's catch you up.
Sorry. For the
there's-
other audience members that also have not.
Yeah, for people who haven't seen Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, they be cloning dinosaurs and stuff. But then they decided, let's clone a human person.
Okay.
So, yeah, now we have a clone and she's being raised by Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh, okay.
But everybody wants the clone because there's a freaking clone running around.
Yeah.
And,
Pretty neat.
science or whatever. So they have to hide her, and they're in hiding. But she keeps trying to go into town because kids are dumb, especially in movies.
AKA 11 in season 2 of Stranger Things. Finally started kind of a little bit watching it.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it. But yeah, it's funny because she's annoying and angsty, like a teenager should be. But Claire is being kind of like a stereotypical white mom, while Owen is being a stereotypical black dad for some reason. Because Claire is
What?
like, she goes into town when she's not supposed to. And Claire is like, I'm not angry, so you don't have to be angry. And Lil Maisie is slamming doors and being all
Wait,
mad.
hold on. But she wasn't wrong. Claire did nothing wrong here.
That's the thing. And
Who's Lil
okay,
Maisie?
so Maisie is the little clone girl.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
And
what?
I'm become like, this is not a new realization, but it's something we haven't talked about, especially on Mike, is the fact that stereotypical white parenting is just understanding and listening to your kids. And stereotypical black parent is just, no, we're not going to do that. You shut up. So,
immigrant parents too.
yes, basically,
They're
parents
like,
of color are
no.
like, no, I don't listen to kids. What?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't push you out to listen to you. But yeah, so Claire's like, I'm not angry, it's okay. You just deliberately disobeyed me, but it's fine. And then Owen comes, he's like, hey kid, we got to talk about you going into town. And Macy's like, it feels like I have no freedom. And he's like, you don't. He hit him with the Miles Morales' dad in Spider-Verse. I feel like I don't have a choice. You don't. I'm a black dad. And then she's outside trying to play with raptors. And he's like, get in the house. And he's like, well, why? He's like, because I said so. And I'm like, yo, Owen's a black dad. Shout out to Owen. But yeah, that's all a little family drama. And then there's a random scene with a plague of locusts. And that's when I thought, what are we doing here? These aren't dinosaurs.
Those things were the most horrifying, disgusting things I have seen.
I hated every scene. I hated every scene with locusts in it.
Every moment. I mean, great job to those people who designed them.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I hated them.
Yeah, they were the worst. But that's how we get Ellie Sattler back. And, Alan Grant.
She's a herbology person.
She's a science lady.
She's a botanist. What am I saying? Herbology.
Yeah, she's a Professor Sprout. But anyway, that does lead to one of my favorite lines in the movie, because Justice Smith works for the feds now. And one of his coworkers, as millennials do, is talking about how everything is terrible. And he says, but we won't be here for long anyway. These locusts in Nebraska are about to wrap all this up.
That's amazing.
That sounds like a real ass millennial Gen Z conversation.
Loved it. But yeah, moving past all that to the new stuff. It's Jurassic Park. So, they're going to have more dinosaurs, a new scary dinosaur. This one's called the Big Niggasaurus or something like that.
Stop it.
Don't fact check me. That's what it's called. They kept saying, it's the Big Niggasaurus.
Sir, it began with Giga, so let's go with there.
Okay, but that's close though, right?
I mean,
Bigger, nigga.
Version more.
Thank you. Bigger Niggasaurus.
Listen, I'm not complaining about what he decided to name it. I'm just saying Giga is the prefix.
Fair. She is right. That's not whatever. But yeah, it's a fun time. They do
Gigantosaurus?
So it's like Giga. It's Giga. It looks like Gigantosaurus.
Like Giganotosaurus or something like that?
Yeah, like
Giganotosaurus. Sorry, Giganotosaurus. Yeah. Giganotosaurus.
Big Niggasaurus. It's fun. So, back to my movie review. Like I said, it's really fun. Jurassic World knows how to do fan service surprisingly well. Bringing back everyone worked out really well, because seeing the OGs play off the new team was great. The OGs have this scared respect for the dinosaurs. Like, we keep our distance. We don't mess with that. But, Owen, quote unquote, trains raptors. And Maisie is a clone girl. So she feels like, oh, I'm a clone. They're a clone. We should all hang out. So they have this.
No.
Yeah. They have this different relationship. Maisie refers to one of the raptors by name, and Goldblum says, a raptor. And you've given it a name. Isn't that something? Okay. I got wrapped up in Bigger Niggasaurus and Black Parents, so I didn't go through this as fast as I could, but I'm going to run through the rest of my notes. DeWanda Wise. Her character's name is Kayla Watts, and she's the best character in Jurassic Park canon. I will be taking no arguments.
You're correct, and I see no reason why anybody should argue.
I love this woman so much. All of her line deliveries and facial expressions just give what have I gotten into with these white folks?
Her conversation with Denise is phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What did she say? Like, I know you don't want me to start spilling secrets about like what you.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this character is my favorite. There's a scene in which dinosaurs are trying to size up her and Owen, and she literally says, "Nope," and takes off running as a black
That's
queen should.
amazing.
She is the best. She's the best.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's amazing.
there's great fun with the dinosaurs, great fun with the on the Ys. BD Wong shows up again,
Of course.
looking like he's been hit with 30 years of guilt, shame, and exhaustion.
Finally.
Like,
He's over here like, I'm just going to make him more scary and more dangerous. And I'm like, should you, BD? We've failed at this multiple times.
well, he said like in this new trilogy, he started to have an arc of like, yo, this is bad. Like in Jurassic World, he's talking to somebody. He's like, we shouldn't be doing this. But then, they just make him keep doing it up to this point. And then we thought this dude was dying. He looks so tired. And then Goldblum sees him and he says, no, not him. It's always him.
Exactly. That's my point.
I was just like, oh, they brought this thing back. But yeah, it's a fun movie. If you like, Jurassic movies, dinosaurs, fun stuff, I actually do recommend this one. You don't need to see the previous one. Just know that there's a clone girl, and that's all you really need to get out of that one. Also, they let some dinosaurs go, and that's why they're running around.
I just want to say that I thought that this one was better than the second one. Overall, I think it's just kind of average as a film. But hey, I mean, it's fun. Dinosaurs going dinosaur. If that's what you're here for,
Yeah.
they're gonna do that.
Exactly.
I thought that the OG cast's storyline was the far more compelling one and the more interesting one to follow. However, I have a great love for Bryce Dallas Howard, and she was amazing in this movie.
She is. She is.
Every time
Man.
she was like
to
fearful,
her.
she would put those fear tears into her eyes, and I was like, "Ooh, oh, buddy."
She's very good. And there are moments in this movie that were terrifying. Like they're actually good at creating dread and tension with these dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Even though I know they're not gonna die. Plot armor is crazy in these movies, but it was still scary.
I think that's actually a problem though, because I feel like in the original Jurassic Park, anybody could have got at any time, and I feel like these movies have lost that sense of dread throughout the entirety of the movie.
Right.
The
For
movies
most of it, you
nowadays
don't
just
think.
choose their moments instead of just having the
Mhm.
whole movie be like full of tension and be like a horror movie. Whereas nowadays
Yeah.
they're more like action films.
Yeah. But if you're going in for action with dinosaurs, also Mamadou Athi, he plays a character named Ramsey who was awesome. Just want to shout him out. Black excellence all around.
Basically, all the black people were amazing in this movie.
They were so good. I was like, yes, this. I didn't know I was gonna get this kind of representation, but I love it.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was. I thought it was the original cast and the new cast, and that was it. I didn't know there was like new
Yeah,
people
new black people.
or black people in it at all, because there haven't been since like Sam Jackson. No. There was a little girl in the second movie.
And we have
Also,
Justice
Justice
Smith.
Smith. Yeah, but Gabby hasn't watched the
Oh,
new movies.
sorry, I forgot the second movie. Sorry, Justice Smith.
But yeah, that's dinosaurs. It's a fun time. Watch some dinosaurs eat some niggas. All right. Shout out to the big and niggasaurus. All right. Moving on to Young Justice, which has a substantially smaller audience of like me, Demi, and some Greg Wiseman fans on the internet.
It's the
Speaking
best
of-
One of my
superhero show on
coworkers actually
TV.
watches it.
It's
Oh,
really
sorry.
good. And we're going to get into why. But yeah, speaking of, it's developed by Greg Wiseman. Greg the Goat Wiseman, who has created 2 of the best cartoons I've ever seen with Gargoyles and The Spectacular Spider-Man, and 3 including Young Justice. And also developed by Brandon Vietti, who has done less, but he directed Batman Under the Red Hood, which is a fantastic DC animated movie. And DC goes hard with their animated stuff, so he got skills. The show stars Jesse McCartney, Kari Payton, Jason Spizak, Nolan North, Danica McKellar, and Stephanie Lemelin. That is like the original starring cast. Greg Wiseman has added about 300,000 characters since the show started, so I'm not going to track down who does what in each season. IMDb summary is also from the original. Teenage superheroes strive to prove themselves as members of the Justice League.
We not proving ourselves no more.
And
We
we're
done
not
made it.
teenagers. So if there's a few things that Greg Wiseman's going to give you, it's 1, time jumps, because I think this show now takes place about 10 to 12 years after it started. 2, representation for everybody.
Everybody.
And we will, everybody. Every
Everybody.
race, ethnicity, religion, gender identity, sexual orientation,
The
species.
the autism scale, everything.
Right? I'm like, oh, this nigga Greg going off.
Oh, I love that.
I love it too. And I wish more people knew about this show, but I don't want it to be one of those things that gets popular and then the stupid people are like, why are you forcing the representation? These people are fictional. There aren't Muslims in the world. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, he's good. He's good at that. And then
Relatable.
another thing he's going to do is give you every tier of DC character. The A-listers, the B-listers, the C-listers, the D-listers. DC characters you think he probably made up, but turns out no, he didn't. Everyone is in this show. There are people who just pop up on screen. And one thing I'll give him is that the show feels, or the world feels lived in, and it doesn't stop to like, oh, who's this person? Let me blah, 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 blah. Because the characters know who these people are. So they're interacting with him like they know him. I don't know who these people are, so I'm confused. But then over time, I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so from the comic that nobody read in the 80s. But I saw a quote from him recently. He talked about the reason why he doesn't create original characters and why he uses source material characters. And I really loved it because he said that basically the people who created this world have done such a good job and fleshed it out so much, and they've done so much with it that it's not really our place to come in and try to create things just for the sake of like, oh, I want to make this. It's like they've given us everything we need, so let's use their characters for our story. And I was like, yo, great. Love you, nigga.
Thank you. Y'all know what show came to mind when you were quoting that. Oh, the rage! I still feel it. Anyway,
Anyway, yes, this show is great. As Demi said, I'm not going to argue that it's not the best superhero show on TV because, it probably is. It's really, really good. And it's very comic book. Sometimes to a fault, because the season finale starts with a full-on exposition fest in which two characters just tell each other a bunch of stuff which has happened in the last few episodes. And I'm thinking, yo, I watched these episodes.
well, but they're also explaining why people are alive that we certainly thought were dead.
Yeah, there are parts in it where it's like, oh, he definitely looked like he died. And he's like, nope, I know how to not die because I know Batman.
Because I
Or
for
whatever.
sure was like getting emotional at the idea of some of these characters being dead. I was like, yo, we're not going to do
Right.
this right now. Because I already lost that character. And like, I don't want to lose
Right.
this one and it's dead. So,
Right. They're like, nope, surprise. We're alive. We're fine. It just reminds me of something because I've been rewatching Teen Titans recently, as I always do. And something that they used to do, because their show was kind of episodic and kind of serialized, they would have episodic episodes, but then there would be an overlapping arc and some episodes would tie into it like weeks later. And they would do that. Like, oh, you remember when Red X showed up and he took Robin's mask and he was like, give me that nigga. So they have to do that because that was the era of shows where if you miss it, you miss it. You might catch a rerun, but maybe not everybody's caught up. Blah, 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 blah. We're streaming, bro. Like, I saw everything. I'm binge watching this.
speaking of their format, though, I really like that what Young Justice does now is that we have miniature arcs. We have like little miniseries
Yeah.
within the season because it's like 26 episodes, and
Mhm.
then we get like 4 or
Like 4
5
arcs.
different stories throughout the entirety of the season. But there is an overarching arc
Yeah.
eventually.
So we'll start. We did like Atlantis has an arc, and then New
we started with the
Genesis.
Mars arc.
Oh yeah, going back to the beginning of the season.
And yeah, we started with the Mars arc, and we had Artemis's arc,
Mm-hmm.
and
then
then
Zatanna and her magic gang.
yeah, Zatanna's arc, and then yeah, we jumped into the Atlantis arc, the New Genesis arc, and then the New Genesis arc led us into our final arc, which wrapped up the overarching storyline.
Right, the Kryptonians and all that stuff. Speaking of Kryptonians, the Zod family is black.
This is the second time that DC has done this.
Yeah, then isn't the if I'm not mistaken, the movie that has been like kicked around with Ta-Nehisi Coates has a black Zod.
Oh,
Valzad or some Zod?
Valzad, yeah. But also the TV
Yeah.
show Krypton, the Zods were also black.
Oh, that's interesting. I like it for the most part. Like Lorzod got a Killmonger haircut. I think that's super dope. And it makes sense because they're like, yo, we were wronged. We gonna take over. Power to the people. But like at the end of the day, we have to watch the villainous black family fight the righteous white one, and that wasn't fun.
Okay,
But-
so here's the thing. I thought about that too, and I was like, if this were any other show, I would be
Mhm.
so pissed off about it. But because, like we said, Young Justice is so inclusive, and there are already so many black people on this show, I feel better about it because I'm like,
Yeah.
at least there are other black people who counteract this like idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a situation where it's a bunch of happy white people and then the black villains show up. It's a situation where these are some comic book characters that in this iteration are black and they're gonna do what these characters would do, even if they weren't. And they look dope,
They do.
and I love it. And Phil Morris does the voice for the Zods, and I love it.
What was Mama Zod? She was white, wasn't she?
She was white.
Okay. Yeah.
She was gangster too.
Because when they came out of the zone, I was like, wait a minute, hold up,
Yeah, because they start in the fandom zone and everything is like
inverted.
negative. Yeah, the colors are weird. I could tell from Zod's voice this dude is black, and his son was black, but I didn't know that the mom was white until they got out. I was like, oh, it's a white woman.
Yeah,
All right.
but I knew that she
Do
was
your thing.
played by Vanessa Marshall, so I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, but it's so much fun, and there's so much in it. I typically just don't like stories about Atlantis. I don't know why. They bore me. I don't like Orm. That nigga sucks. So that arc was it was going to be iffy for me if Calderon wasn't the focus, because Calderon is probably the best character on the show for me. And he's joining Beautiful Beard Gang in this show, so I love it. He grew his beard out. He's basically Luisa from Encanto, except he has a good family and friends who care about him and tell him, hey, take a break, relax. But he's basically taking on everything, and just they say, hey, you need to calm down, you need to relax, you need to take a break. Even his parents are like, yo, we didn't really do a great job. You did everything when you were a kid. Maybe you should stop. And then he doesn't sing Surface Pressure or anything, but I feel like if he did, he would have earned that.
Yeah, this show deals with its storylines very, very well. Because I for sure wanted to smack the crap out of Beast Boy until he finally acknowledged his
Yo.
problems.
They got my nigga popping pills and all kind of stuff. Yeah, it gets wild.
I just forget that this is a cartoon too.
This is a cartoon.
That
The stuff
started
they
for
do on this
kids
show.
and is no longer for kids.
One of my notes says, we watched someone get their heart ripped out of their chest in a show that used to be on Cartoon Network. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I
do.
still think it's funny the Miss Martian Superboy scene where she was in the bathroom and he was like, he asked her like a question of what she had on in the bathroom or something, and she was like, my engagement ring. And I was like, yo.
Then he flew into that bathroom. Give her that super dick. All right. It's probably a good place to stop. Young Justice. It's great. It's a really fun show.
It's amazing. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Colin and her are just looking at each other in the screen.
Yes. And this is why I want us to do video content, because most of the things I say get a visual reaction from Colin.
Get ready, folks. You guys will be getting visual content real soon.
Yes, it's gonna be so wild. But yeah, I recommend this show if you're into superhero shows, but not in a casual way, because like I said, Wiseman's gonna give you the deepest of cuts. There are characters speaking in certain episodes that have no place in my memory, and I know they've been introduced before, but I just roll with it because whatever, it's fun. All right, those are our reviews. I just realized it was me into me, and then the other two just chilling. All right, moving on to what you've been watching, what you've been doing, what's going on with you in the last month that we haven't seen you, or just pick a show that you've been watching. Gaby, what you been watching?
Okay, so this is a continuation of when I was watching Modern Family. I finished it. Woo!
Nice.
It was
We're getting-
11 seasons, okay? And when I talked about it, I think it was only on like season 4.
I love that we have continuity in the podcast now.
Do you remember when that was that you were on season 4? I'm just trying to get a sense of how long it took you.
I think like our last review.
Yeah, at least a
episode?
month ago.
Yeah, I would just watch it. It would just always be on. So I got through like 11 seasons, and Modern Family is one of those very rare shows that was like running in the like late teens and had full 20 episode seasons. So it's like 250 episodes that I watched. And what I have to say is, I think I touched on this before, the consistency on the show, like I fully understand now why it was on for so long, because I would hear that it was on and I'm like, that show's still going? How? And then I watched it and I was like, oh, that's how.
Yeah, it's really
it was
funny.
just like consistently funny. It never lost quality. You could tell that everybody was just as committed to be there. Like nobody, because eventually sometimes you can tell that an actor's like, I want to move on. And you could tell that these actors didn't want to move on, that they were still like in it. They were still happy. I found myself like really sad at the end. But
Yeah.
what I do like is that it didn't quite have too much finality to it. Like some of the characters were leaving, but it didn't feel final. And I'm like, they left like just enough that they could come back, and I think they could do it. It's a great show. I highly recommend it. I can't believe I watched every single episode. Normally, with a show this long, I get to about season 4 or 5 and I go, and I'm done. And like, I can tell that I'm done because I slowly stop watching it. I slowly stop going to it. But like every day, I would just go back to it. And I found myself on season 8 still going back to it, and season like 9, and then I was like, wow, I'm like at the end. The only season they ever cut short was the last one. It was 18 episodes instead of like 20 plus. But other than that, wow, long running, and the network just gave them 20 episodes every season. It's wild. And then I heard that they got so good at filming that most of the time they would be done before lunchtime, and I'm like, that's
Wow.
wild.
That's
So
crazy.
That's
There's so
awesome.
many characters. and
yeah, there's
stuff they
so
have
many
to do.
characters, but there was only ever like 3 storylines going. And just
They're
like,
good.
wow, the quality. Anyway, so I just wanted to give an update on Modern Family and like my watching. It's over. I'm very sad. And I'm looking for another show. Probably gonna like binge watch Obi-Wan.
Oh, nice. You should. Shout out to Ty Burrell, by the way. He's a really cool dude. He's an
Oh,
Nice.
ambassador for the nonprofit that I typically volunteer or do work for.
I'm glad to hear that. He
and
seems
he's
like he'd be nice.
hilarious. He was
He's really funny.
the entire time.
Yeah, he hosts our film festival every year. So he's a real
Nice.
cool dude. It's funny that you mentioned Obi-Wan because I went to the Star Wars celebration and that was dope as hell. It was super fun. Shout out to Lauren and Hannah, who I hung out with for one of the days that I was there. But also, I got to see Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen in the flesh, and it was magical. 9-year-old me
Oh.
would not believe me. But I also saw Janina Gavankar, who we love.
Oh, I love her.
Shout out to all the Star Wars fans who seemed very, very cool. I overheard a lot of very chill conversations and not as many toxic ones as I thought I was going to hear. So that's
Well,
dope.
that's good.
Exactly. Yeah. Everybody seemed real cool. So shout out to Star Wars fans for proving that we're not as toxic as a lot of people tend to think that we are.
That's an interesting thing because, you know, you go on Twitter and you scroll for a bit and you think, oh, Star Wars is full of terrible people. But I was listening to a podcast, has nothing to do with Star Wars. And one of the guys was saying that he looks online and he sees stuff about him. But in person, like out and about in the world, he's never heard any of these negative things. And, you know, not to say that there aren't toxic people out there, but I feel like in an environment when you actually have to say what you say in person and stand behind what you say, people are less brave. Like they're less likely to I'm gonna just start spewing hate
Yeah.
because I'm not on my computer screen. I'm in person. And if I offend somebody, I have to deal with the consequences. So it's good that it wasn't just a bunch of people being terrible
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
in a group.
And also I went to the Obi-Wan Kenobi premiere and like you guys have probably seen that there's that you're going to get criticism as you do when shows get released out into the world. But I saw it in a stadium full of people who are Star Wars fans. That sort of stuff didn't really exist. It was cool to be in a room with people who just like were cheering for like these really cool moments and that we all got to experience it together as like a bunch of like huge Star Wars nerds. I also met Doug Chang, who's like the vice president of Lucasfilms or something, and he was really cool. I met Sam Witwer real quick in passing. I got to see Dave Filoni, who is like everybody loves him for how much he knows about Star Wars lore and what he's done with Star Wars since arriving. So like that was really cool. And just being in that environment with a bunch of people who just really like Star Wars. It was really nice.
I love that for you.
Dallas, what you been watching?
What I have been watching. Okay, I've been watching The Boys.
Oh my God.
And sometimes I ask myself why I've been watching The Boys.
I did that within the first 5 minutes of the show, I want to say.
Yo.
I ask you guys that all the time. You guys just mention stuff and I'm like,
because it's such a good show.
So
no, I'm
good.
guessing it. I believe you, but like y'all be throwing out the most heinous things that go on that show.
It is the worst. Like, it's the best, worst thing I can watch because, okay, for those who don't know, The Boys is a TV show. It's based on a comic book. By all accounts, the show is much better than the comic, but we don't need to get into that. It was created by Eric Kripke, who made Supernatural and like 2 other shows that ran for 2 years.
That's why Jensen Ackles is in it.
Yes. He's like, let me get my boy. Supernatural's over. Come over to The Boys. Stars Carl Urban, Jack Quaid, Anthony Starr, Aaron Moriarty, some other people, Laz Alonso, who plays my favorite character. So this season, Was it season 3, 4, 3, 3? I recently rewatched season 2, and I'm glad I did because season 2 has amazing moments in it. It's a really good show to the point where like the finale made me tear up, which is funny because it wasn't my first time watching it. But man, when little spoiler redacted accidentally kills spoiler redacted, I was like, I'm folding. And stuff like that is what I have to remind myself when I watch the new season and they do stuff like they did in the beginning, and I almost turned it off. It's so
I
ridiculous.
think you should say what it was that made you almost turn off the show. Because that was the moment that made me go, why am I watching this show?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to say it
Thank
on
you.
microphone.
Thank you.
But
I don't know what it is, but based on both of your
I just
reactions,
want
I
to see
don't want
Gaby
that
and
in my
Colin's
psyche.
reactions to it.
I don't want it in my psyche.
I mean,
Yes.
you know you can look that up, Gabby. I'm
Is
about
it
to
like a
Google
weird
it.
octopus thing?
No.
Is it one of that?
that's a
Oh,
later thing,
That's
and that's
a later
tempting Pinder to
God,
that.
no.
Okay.
It's weird.
They have an
Nah, I'm not-
Ant-Man-like character
Yeah, his name is Termite.
who goes into, I guess it's his lover's,
Orifice.
his what now?
But not. He goes into an orifice, but not.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
not-
I mean, people were making jokes about that when Infinity War came out, so like someone
Not
had
that
to
one.
do it.
No,
at some
not
point.
that one.
Not that one.
Other side.
Oh.
Whichever one you're thinking of is not that one.
Oh, sounding. That's a shame.
Yeah, I hate it. And then I was like, oh no, this is a thing, and I don't want
And
it to
then
be.
and then he sneezed
Yeah,
and grew bigger
that goes about as well as you can expect.
I don't
So
know why
he
anyone
exploded
watches
them.
this show.
because it's such
And
a
then
good
I
show.
thought,
No thanks.
and then I
Never.
thought, man, I wish I could have skipped that scene. But from
Ah.
that point, we get to the really well written drama and like family dynamic and the romance. And it's just like, why do you guys do these things? This show could just be great. Just let it be great. Like it's great,
Probably
but also terrible now.
because they were like, man, Endgame didn't have the balls to do it, so we do. Amazon gives us whatever we want. They
Amazon
said
is
we
like,
could.
yo, we don't care what you do. We have all the
Amazon's
money
like,
in the world.
man,
What are you
all we
gonna do?"
care about is trending on Twitter, and looks like this is gonna trend.
Exactly. Like you're still doing it. But aside from things that are especially heinous, the show is really good at the social commentary. Obviously, it's very satirical. It parodies everyone. Like Butcher goes to a gun, like an NRA convention, because one of the characters who's basically so Jensen Ackles plays a character named Soldier Boy, and he's essentially a
Chris
douchey
Evans,
Captain
I
America.
mean-
Yes. And
He's Chris Evans when he's Boston Bro, his Boston Bro persona. I'm just kidding.
and
He's like the most wholesome Boston Bro ever.
shout out to White Hennessy. He has a sidekick who's basically his Bucky, and his name is Gunpowder, and he's a gun nut. And then Butcher goes to the gun convention, and you just see, and it hits, especially close to home now when everyone's saying like, "Hey, man, maybe we should get rid of these big ass guns," and they're like, "No, don't take my guns. I need my guns to protect myself from all my enemies who don't exist." And he goes to this gun convention. You see like little kids running around and people bringing babies, and it's just like, this should be fictional, but it's not, and I hate it.
There was also the
It's just
commentary
real life.
on like corporations co-opting like activism. So like
Oh,
they
yeah.
went to a theme park and like one of the stands was BLM BLTs and
Yeah.
like one of them was like woke walk. Another one had something to do with the LGBTQ community. Like they had like a bunch of rainbow balloons and like a whole like LGBTQ plus like section of the park. Like it was
Yeah.
so funny, but also like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's what they do.
It's like that Walmart ice cream.
But yeah, and the thing about it is, as ridiculous as they get with lampooning some of these things, it never feels out of the realm of reality because this is what people do. Like when A Train does that energy drink commercial where there's a police protest
Yeah.
and it's literally just the Kylie Jenner commercial with the Pepsi. And it's like, this is stupid. This looks stupid. But this happened in real life and it was stupid.
Yep.
And it's just like, real life is stupid. And the show is showing us that, but also with superheroes. And they just managed to make it more tense every season. This man Homelander, I don't know how he's getting worse. But every scene he says the worst thing a person can say. And I think, yep, that's the worst thing you could say in that scene.
Well, now he's
They
getting
got it
worse
right.
because he's feeling comfortable with saying the worst thing you can possibly say in front of everyone.
Yeah, it's horrifying, but it's also
How?
very real. We had a president who said things that most people wouldn't say in a room, and he was saying them into a microphone on TV. And it's just the show.
He also tried to overthrow the government, but whatever.
I'm sure Homelander would try.
I mean, he probably could
he's
because he's
probably about
Homelander.
to. But yeah, all the acting is still great. Kimiko is just so adorable when she's not ripping people's faces off.
Shout out to them for letting Karen Fukuhara sing because she's got such a beautiful voice.
I was a nice little surprise in the beginning. She's great, and she's so good at having heart and like warmth, even though she's a killing machine. Like I think I told you to me when she's trying to play the piano and Butcher kind of yells at her, and then Huey's like, "I thought it sounded great." Like the look that she gives him, I was like, "Oh, she's so sweet." And it's a character that you normally say protect her at all costs, but you don't need to because she can protect herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, she really don't
She'll
need you.
kill you.
Right? She
She'll
needs to
kill
protect
you
them at all
herself.
costs. But yeah, the new season is 4 episodes in, and every episode is good, and it gives me something that makes me just think, oh yeah, everything is terrible in life. And then something that makes me think, maybe I could stop watching this show. But that's how you know the show is great, because they can do something like we described earlier, and I still think I'm going to keep watching because this show is that good. And I can't think of a lot of shows that I would let them get that off. Like if a show started like that and wasn't this quality, immediate turn off. Like we're done.
I can't believe it started the season with that.
That was within the first 20 minutes. It wasn't necessarily like the opening.
Okay.
It was basically the opening.
It was like the first
mission
action.
that they went on.
It was the first mission, of the show. But it wasn't the first 5 minutes. It was like the first 20. First 15, maybe.
But yeah, I hate it and I love it. So that's The Boys. I hate it and I love it. Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg and Ed please stop doing this to me.
I forget that this is Seth Rogen.
Yeah, so when they do stuff like that, I think, yeah, that makes sense.
That's why. That's why whenever Pam and Tommy did crazy stuff, I was like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that's The Boys. That's what Demi and I have been watching. It's time for the news.
Time for the news.
It's time to trailer track. It's time to trailer track. Black Adam. We got a trailer. The Rock was cast as Black Adam about 28 years ago. And now we have an actual trailer. And it's coming. It's happening. It's great. I'm so excited. It looks like exactly what I want it to be. The Rock is doing things that he can probably do in real life, like catch missiles. But, he's doing it in a DC movie, so it's going to have effects. And it's funny how separate this feels from Shazam, because he's a Shazam villain, but he got cast before there was even a Shazam movie.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we're going to do Black Adam. We can work Shazam in where he fits in, but we're doing Black Adam.
That man got cast before there was a DCEU.
I can't believe this.
It's so funny to me. They're like, we don't know what we want to do with this universe, but we know we want The Rock to play Black Adam. So we'll just go from there and we'll work around that.
Yep.
Maybe this is going to be the movie that ties everything together. Now that they have this foundation of The Rock as Black Adam, they were like, cool. Now we know we want to build our universe around. So we'll just go from there.
I like the idea of the DCEU just having different corners of their universe. So there's the Harley Quinn corner, and there's a Gotham corner, and there's the Shazam corner.
Yeah.
And the Suicide Squad corner. That works for me.
It's a big universe. Y'all can all play on your own little area.
It does feel like DC's starting to get their footing a little bit, but we'll see.
I mean, whether they do or not, I'm gonna watch because I like superheroes and I love The Rock. He's just a beacon of hope in our dark, dark world.
And this movie looks.
This character
good.
is not.
It looks.
Oh no, the character's not.
No. He's so sad. He's the saddest boy I've ever seen in my whole life.
Hawkman was like, "Heroes don't kill people," and Black Adam was just
like,
I do.
He pulled a whole the boys. Just kidding. Not really.
Who gonna stop me? But also, I can't remember which Watch the Throne song that they used, but it worked out really well for the trailer. Got me amped. I like it. I'm hyped. I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
I'm excited because it comes out a couple weeks after my birthday, which is nice because I never get superhero movies.
Yeah, you get horror movies.
I hate that.
Speaking of horror movies, Nope.
Yo.
We got another trailer. And
Nope looks really good.
It's so good.
Really good.
I can't wait to see it. And I'm scared.
Why is this trailer so long? It's 3.5 minutes.
3 minutes.
I don't care.
Right?
It set the tone.
Like, if they played this trailer at ArcLight, they could only play it twice, and then they'd have to start the movie because you can't
Oh.
fit another trailer in there. But yeah,
Rest in peace,
it's
ArcLight.
rest in peace, ArcLight gang. This movie looks really good. This trailer has a very different tone.
Yeah.
The first one was the teaser, and we got the Stevie Wonder song playing in the background.
Mhm.
Black people are running. Something scary's happening.
There's some
This
joy
one is a
in it.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a lot of jokes. The music is everything's different. It feels weird, but it doesn't make me think the movie's gonna be any less amazing. Like,
For
I'm here
how
for
do
it.
I put this? For me, I like that they covered several tones
Mm-hmm.
because to me it showed the range of this movie. It showed me
Yeah.
that there's going to be some moments of like real levity, and then there's going to be some moments where I want to leave the room because I'm so stressed out. And it also showed that there's going to be some really great drama. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, Keke Palmer, the scene where she's holding the camera in the trailer and she's just, I don't know what she's looking at and what she's filming, but I'm not looking forward to that scene. But the acting, oh my God. Oof. I hope that people give this the same sort of reverence that they gave Get Out so that she could get an Oscar nom or some nom. I want to see her at least nominated for something just from that expression.
I do. I love it. I love her. She's great. I could tell from the first trailer, the way she's in it, that there's going to be a lot of levity. But
Yeah.
this one definitely confirmed that. Like at the this guy who's working with them, and then at the end he's like, if you want to leave a review or like a survey, she's like,
Also-
5 stars, Angel.
Also, I love that they chose Fry's Electronics, even though it's now defunct. It's gone. But
Yeah.
I love that it's Fry's because Fry's had those like alien invasion sci-fi themes throughout the store. And I'm like, if you're going to pick an
yeah.
electronics store,
Mhm.
that's the one.
They know what they're doing.
If that UFO came from Fry's, like,
I would die.
I would love that. Also,
Yeah.
that was up.
Oh, sorry. I just miss Fry's. Those were the coolest
It was
electronics
a
stores.
fun place. Also, disclaimer, I know some people don't watch trailers because they give away spoilers. So if that's you, skip to the next part of the thing. But spoiler incoming, we realize that Keith David's in this movie,
Yeah.
but also that he's dead.
Yep.
yeah.
So it's like, why you give that to me
That was
just to take it away?
exactly-
Yep,
I
exactly.
watched the trailer like 20 minutes ago, and I was like, "Oh, that's a waste of Keith David."
Well, that's
Mhm.
better
Like,
than what
hopefully-
happened with Godzilla when everybody thought Bryan Cranston was going to be in the whole movie and then he wasn't. Better to let y'all know now.
Or at least we know he's gonna die. Which, I'm assuming we're gonna at least get some flashbacks and stuff like that. You don't get Keith David to just play a corpse. That'd be ridiculous. But I'm glad to see he's in it. All right. That's Nope. I'm hyped. I think Demi's actually gonna see it, which just blesses my little heart. And Colin, who is a closeted horror fan. But
I'm not.
it's Pride Month. Colin, be proud.
Nope.
Colin's actually gonna see it too, I think. Moving on. Prey. I saw this trailer like a day and a half ago for the first time. Shout out to Kayla, I love you. She showed it to me. This looks really good.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, it's a Predator prequel, but it is I don't know like world history enough to know
When it takes
what
place?
time period it's supposed to take place in.
Mhm.
But it follows an indigenous group led by Amber Midthunder, who I like. She's in Legion and she was
Dude,
great.
I'm upset because like I love Amber Midthunder, but this movie just does nothing for me.
I was like, man, I know Colin's not gonna watch this movie, but I know he likes his action.
Yep, that was exactly what I was thinking.
But I really I've always liked the Predator as a character and a concept. It looks super dope. The character design is dope. This movie just looks so cool. I didn't just want to watch a bunch of indigenous people get hunted down, but then we get some white people who pop up out of nowhere like they did, and then they start to get hunted down. I'm like, cool. I know I'm gonna enjoy that scene.
That's good to know because I was also very concerned about the idea of just a bunch of Native Americans being hunted down by the Predator. Also,
Yeah.
just so you know, the movie's supposed to take place in 1719.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, there it is. Set in the Comanche Nation.
So like there's only like a couple white people here causing mayhem. Actually, no, never mind. There's quite a few of them. They've already
Yeah.
destroyed Latin America. So by then. Yep.
White people, if you're listening, we love you. Don't be mad.
We're mostly talking about the colonizers.
You weren't there. Don't even worry about it. But there's one shot when White Man A tries to kill the Predator with like an axe or a hatchet or something,
That was
and
a cool shot.
the Predator catches it and flips it in his hand and swings it back at him. And I was like, yo, give me my ticket. But the movie's on Hulu, so I don't need a ticket,
Exactly.
which is bittersweet because this is a movie that I'd want to watch in a theater. but I'm broke. So shout out to not having to buy a ticket. Bittersweet.
Yeah.
Also, I've heard that the movie's being released with like Comanche language dubbing, like an audio
Oh,
track in Comanche language, which I think is super dope because
They-
that's never
That's
happened
so
before.
cool.
they did that for Roma.
Yes. When I said this has never happened before,
Sorry.
I meant for that language.
Oh yes. Yeah, they
Like, this
did
never
that.
happened before. Gabby's like, wrong.
I'm so sorry.
Let me be specific. It has never been done for this language.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited for that. Shout out to representation.
And it's
that-
cool because it's
Hmm.
not just like, oh, we dubbed it in post-production. It was shot in both English and Comanche.
Right. Which I love.
That is
I love
dedication.
that
We love to see
because
it.
the Roma one did not do that. It was a live dubbing
Mm.
in Yalitza Aparicion's hometown. They
Oh,
did
nice.
the dubbing as the movie was going on.
But yeah, this movie looks dope. I'm definitely going to watch it. Shout out to Amber Mid-Thunder. Kill that alien. Speaking of things that I'm excited for, apparently there's a Netflix show called Entergalactic, and it looks like Spider-Verse, and it has Kid Cudi in it, and a bunch of other people, and I'm excited. The
Me
trailer tells me
too.
nothing except, hey, this looks like Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And has a bunch of dope people in it. Timothy Chalamet's in there.
What?
Yeah, that threw me off.
I looked at the cast list, and every white name, I was like, huh, what's he doing here?
miss him?
There's no animated Timothy Chalamet in the
Okay,
trailer.
okay.
It's just
I thought I missed him in the trailer.
But yeah, it's like Kid Cudi, Jessica Williams, Timothy Chalamet, Ty Dolla $ign, Laura Harrier, Vanessa Hudgens, Tiana Taylor, Jaden Smith, Keith David, and then the last name is Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, they got Macaulay Culkin in this? I have no idea what he's gonna be doing, but I can't wait to find out. It looks beautiful. I don't know anything about what it is, but it's just like a black love story in animation, and I love animation, and I love black people. I love love. So
I
check
love
3
Jessica
boxes.
Williams. Like she's
Jessica
great.
Williams is great.
Yeah, after watching The Secrets of Dumbledore, I would definitely, I'm here just to watch Jessica Williams do whatever she wants.
Yeah,
Sure.
she's the best part of that movie.
She is, without a question.
And I know
haven't seen
that
it.
Intergalactic is gonna have a dope soundtrack. Like Kid Cudi made the show, so I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I don't know when it comes out in the summer or something. Whatever. Either way, I got Netflix. I'm gonna watch it. Oh, also for anyone wondering, Netflix, the beef is over because Ozark was so good, and it's one of my favorite shows ever. So I will stop being mad at you, even though you don't know I exist.
I have a question.
So
How do you think they animated this? Because like it looks like Jessica Williams. So do you think they did the what is it called? Rotoscope?
rotoscoping. I don't like, because I watch Undone, and that show was rotoscoped, and it looks very different,
Yeah.
bordering on Uncanny Valley.
Yeah,
But
that's okay.
I don't know enough about animation. I'm not that guy.
Okay.
I'm not that guy, pal. They did get her like, oh, that's Jessica Williams.
Mhm.
Either way, I'm here for it. Moving on to something that I think Demi is excited for. Thunderbolts. It's a movie. It's happening. They got a director. It's a guy I've never heard of. His name is Jake. His name is Jake.
Schreier?
Sure.
I'm gonna say Schreier.
Shout out Jake. Jake from Marvel.
Oh,
With his khakis and everything.
stop it.
Who's directing Thunderbolts? Jake from Marvel. I've read one run of Thunderbolts, and it has a bunch of characters that I know they're not using for this Thunderbolts. So I am borderline excited. But, given who we think they're going to use, it's probably going to be Yelena, U.S. Agent, Ghost, maybe?
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for
Yeah.
Ghost. I honestly have been hoping for a Thunderbolts movie just for an excuse for them to bring Ghost back.
Yes, you've been saying that.
You brought up a Thunderbolts movie like at least 2 years ago.
I did when we.
Which is
I don't
like,
think I
I'm
did
like,
on the
wild.
podcast. Yeah, I don't think I brought it up on
No,
the
no, no.
podcast. I think
No,
I brought
we
it
were,
up
like, hanging
at
out
like
in the
one
park
of
or
our
something.
friend hangouts. We were talking about.
Yeah.
I think we did one of those PowerPoints where we were like, "What Marvel movie would you want to see?" And I said
Yes.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
So I've been anticipating for a minute.
And that's why I know what that is because of you in that
Yeah.
presentation.
Yeah, I'm really happy that there's, it seems to be like, it's been a rumor for a long time that Thunderbolts were coming. So I'm really excited that there seems to be confirmation that for sure we are getting a Thunderbolts movie. Yeah, the guy who directed it directed Paper Towns, which I have seen, and I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, I just want Ghost back. I'm sure Yelena will probably be in it. U.S. Agent.
Yeah.
There's also the possibility of bringing back Abomination, depending on how things go with She-Hulk.
Yeah, he's been popping up and stuff, so
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're going to bring him back for that.
And then somebody mentioned maybe the Winter Soldier, because the Winter Soldier does join the Thunderbolts at different points in the comic series. Ghost is a member in the
Mm.
comic series. Yolanda's a member in the comic series. And then it'll also be interesting because, rest in peace, William Hurt, he played Thunderbolt Ross. So
Yes.
it'll be interesting to see what they do with that because the team is named after Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, and in the run that I read, he's the leader as Red Hulk, which is one of the things that disappoints me about the MCU is that they never did Red Hulk. So he's right there, guys. But
There's always the possibility, though. She-Hulk is still coming.
true. We'll see what they do. We will see what they do. Yeah, I like Marvel. I like Thunderbolts. Shout out to Jake.
For anybody who doesn't know what the Thunderbolts are, it's kind of like the Marvel version of the Suicide Squad, except they're not a Suicide Squad. But they're a team of reformed or reforming supervillains who go on secret missions.
Yeah, it's basically Suicide Squad. So they don't put bombs in their necks because
This is
it's not that
Disney.
deep.
I'm like,
Because Amanda Waller is
I'm
not
just
here.
kidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited at the prospect. I'm excited at the idea that maybe Ghost could be coming back because Feige said that they did have a plan for her back in 2018 when Ant-Man and the Wasp came out, and it's been 4 years. And I just want to know what the plan is. What's the game plan? Feige, is Ava Starr even still alive after the snap?
Oh, right.
I
I
feel
just
like
wanna
if
know.
he said they had a plan, the plan wouldn't be she got snapped and she's gone.
Her
and
plan is
bye.
to be done.
Well, she has to be snapped. She has to be. That's the only way she's still alive.
Oh, because the thing was killing her, right?
Yeah. So if she didn't have the stuff that literally Ant-Man went into the quantum realm to get for her, he got snapped. That's 5 years without it. She would have died.
I mean, unless Quantum Mania addresses that.
I don't think she's in that
You
movie.
never know.
Oh.
I mean, they could just like give her a shout out, like, "Hey, remember when Ghost didn't die?
Uh,
Yeah, I remember. That was cool."
They shouldn't do that, but if they want to, I will be happy. And I will be the only person in the theater who cares.
Like, yo, you seen Ava lately? Yeah, bro, she at the house chilling.
Yeah,
She's
you
watching The
know,
Boys.
that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. If Ghost isn't Thunderbolts, though, I wonder if Bill Foster is in. But at this moment, they're only in development. They don't even know what characters they're using. A script has not been written. So, but we know Marvel.
Okay.
Marvel is typically 10 years ahead of themselves.
Or we're going to Marvel.
Okay, got it. I was like, what?
Anyway, speaking of superheroes, The Boys is getting a season 4.
Woohoo!
We just keep doing this. Man, I get it. Like I said, the show's great, but also I don't get it because if you're a Prime Video and you see that dude's dick explode and you think, yep, one more season. We got to give y'all at least one more.
I mean,
I mean,
they
you know
saw
that's
the
not what they
whale
would do.
scene last season and said, you know what? Let's give it a season 3. So,
Yeah, boys gonna boys. But I'm happy because I really like the show, despite some of the things I say about it and some of the things it puts me through. But yeah, I'm gonna keep subjecting myself to this.
in spite of the trauma, we continue to watch.
Exactly. That's what we're here for. But yeah, I'm happy for them. Happy for everybody involved. Shout out to Eric Kripke because he did Supernatural for like 38 years.
Actually, he
And-
left Supernatural like after season 5, didn't he?
Really?
Yeah.
What? He got out early.
I didn't know that. I thought he was doing the thing the whole time.
No, he was not the
Wild.
showrunner for all 15 of those seasons.
That's so many seasons.
Ah, that kind of explains why I stopped liking the show over time. Because I really liked it in the beginning, and then I didn't. So shout out to Kripke. You made all the Supernatural that I liked.
Wow.
Yeah, he was
Unless
the
you were just-
showrunner for the first 5 seasons, and then after that, nah.
Wow. All right. Well, whatever. Shout out to you. Keep doing your thing. Keep getting that money.
Also, I would
Show
hope
me
that they
another
would
thing.
give the boys another season just because they have that spinoff coming out soon, the college one.
The what?
The college
yeah.
spinoff where they're training superheroes at the university.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
heard
going to
about
be
that.
insane.
Yeah, which
I
I'm
am
kind of
not
sad
looking
about it
forward
though
to that.
because Amy Carrero was supposed to be on the show and now she's no longer in it, and I frigging love Amy Carrero, but she also got another
Oh.
job, so that's fine.
Oh.
So I win, I guess, still because I still get a boys spinoff and I get another show with Amy Carrero in it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good way to look at it. I will be watching that whenever it comes out, and I will probably regret it from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because
Yeah.
now we have to watch college students do a bunch of horrible things.
And college students are just terrible.
Yeah, there's gonna be some really fucked up shit going on in that. I'm not
But you
looking
know, that's
forward
what you
to
come to the boys for. All right. That's our podcast. We did it for the first time in a month. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of us. I love you all. Thank you, audience, for listening to all of that. Thank you, as always, Crown Digital, Brandon, and Io for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. we will definitely remind you that we're doing this again, so you can do that for us. Demi, thank you for editing and putting us on YouTube and talking about, I think, everything that I watched, you watched in this episode. So shout out to you.
Dallas, me and you are
Vibes.
typically vibing on the superhero front.
We be vibing. Gaby, thanks for telling us about Modern Family, because, you know, that show don't get shine no more because it's over.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you. Appreciate you for all that you do. Colin, thank you for chilling with us as you didn't watch or really talk about anything. But we like looking at your face. And, you know, we can't do our first episode in Pride Month and you not be there. What would that be? That would be nonsense.
That'd be anti-gay. I'm just
That would
kidding.
be.
Dallas, about that spinoff, and I quote, part college show, part Hunger Games.
Ooh. Well,
No,
I like the
I'm
Hunger
out.
Games. And
Fuck,
I like
fuck that shit.
college, I guess.
I'm out.
Yeah, but you were
Were
already
you
out.
ever in,
I
Gaby?
know.
Yeah, you weren't in. You
I'm
can't
for
say
sure.
I'm out.
Oh,
when you're-
man.
I'm for sure out.
it.
I
It's a
just found
nope
out
from
Chance
me.
Perdomo is going to be on it too. Oh, that's going to be dope. That's exciting. He is, for anybody who
name
doesn't know,
sounds
he
familiar.
was in The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina as Sabrina's cousin, and he was amazing.
Oh
on
my
that
god,
show.
he's so cool.
Ambrose is awesome.
Dope. Anyway, audience, back to you. What do you think of dinosaurs? What do you think of superheroes? What do you think of the big Niggasaurus? Let us know. Hit us up in the comments or go to Twitter at y'all_different or Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast or Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC if anyone's still using Facebook. If you want to talk to me about how dope DeWanda Wise is, because, man, find me on Twitter and or Instagram at King Named Simba.
Hi, you can find me, Gaby, on the Instagrams at Stegosaurus.
You can find me on Twitter at Duck McGuck.
And you can't find me because she doesn't want you to. That is our episode. It has been different. Bye.
Bye.
I don't have a tag because I forgot that we did that.
I was wondering. I was like bracing myself.
Yes. We will see you all next time.